My name is Lara Mesquita, and I will be doing my FOA on Part 2 of the IB Language and Literature course. I will do so by analyzing two different political cartoons regarding the legality of guns in the United States. In the United States, all states but California, Hawaii, Colorado, Illinois, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Maryland, and Rhode Island allow their citizens to buy and possess guns without a permit. According to USA Today, an average of 2 children die per week due to the inappropriate use of guns, where one child accidentally shoots another one. These are the two political cartoons I will be analyzing. Both these political cartoons have as a purpose to emphasize why and how children should not be able to possess guns. Both these political cartoons are directed to Americans, but mainly to the ones residing in the states where guns are allowed without a permit. Although they might seem humorous, they're two very serious political cartoons, and when people look at them, they become not only aware, but at the same time concerned, due to the fact that the artists chose such an exaggerated way of depicting this issue. This is my first political cartoon. It's called Guns R Us, and this political cartoon was created by Bill Dane, a very well-known political cartoonist. His cartoons are published in newspapers such as the New York Times, as well as other newspapers from all around the world. This specific cartoon was published on June the 12th of 2011, which suggests that Bill Dane created this cartoon as a response to some school shootings that had previously occurred in 2011. For example, on January the 5th of 2011, at the Millard South High School in Omaha, Nebraska, a student shot the assistant principal and the principal. On March the 25th, at the Martinsville West Middle School in Indiana, a 15-year-old suspended student returned to school and shot and killed one of his fellow colleagues. And on May the 23rd, at the Highlands Intermediate School in Pearl City, Hawaii, a 14-year-old student severely hurt one of his fellow colleagues while playing with a handgun. In this political cartoon, there aren't any people. Although in this political cartoon there aren't specific objects, the overall store of Guns R Us could be considered the main object in this political cartoon. Basically, the store is an imitation of Toys R Us, a well-known toy store, but instead of selling toys to children, it sells guns. By doing this, the artist is accusing the United States of all the school shootings that have occurred, and he does this. He shows this by making the store have an outline of the United States of America itself, as you can see. As obvious, this isn't a real store and it doesn't really exist. However, the artist chose to make this store up in order to help emphasize his message. In this political cartoon, Bill Dane is basically commenting on how gun possession has extended to the point where even minors are able to hold possession of them. And he does this by showing a toy store because many times parents in the United States give their children guns as birthday presents or allow their children to play with the guns that they have at home. The artist approaches both a realistic and an abstract technique because he focuses on Toys R Us as his basis for this political cartoon, but then he adapts it and changes it to Guns R Us, which isn't a real store. This cartoon can be considered ironic because of its comparison between Toys R Us and Guns R Us, as mentioned before. The artist's purpose is to emphasize that he is against the fact that minors are allowed to possess guns, and this is shown by him saying that the United States is in fact selling, in one way or another, guns to children, because if it isn't the children buying the guns, it's the parents. And basically, Bill Day believes that this issue is really important and that it must end. I agree with Bill Day, and I agree with this political cartoon, because I honestly believe that children, especially at young ages, aren't able to distinguish right from wrong. And by giving them guns, people are endangering them not only, but also endangering the people around them. And I believe that many children are unaware of the danger of guns and don't know how to use it properly, and many times can confuse them with the guns that they see in video games. And this is my second political cartoon. It's called Kids Shooting Kids. This political cartoon was created by Milt Pridgey, also a well-known political cartoonist. His political cartoons are published in newspapers such as the Washington Post, USA Today, and the New York Times. This cartoon was published on November the 24th of 2014, which suggests that Milt Pridgey was creating this cartoon in order to respond to a previous shooting that occurred on October the 24th, 2014 at the Marysville-Pilchuck High School in Marysville, Washington, where a 14-year-old student killed 2 people and seriously injured another 4. There are 3 people in this cartoon, Uncle Sam and 2 babies. The baby on the right represents the students or the minors who have injured other people using handguns. The baby on the left, although it can't be seen, represents all the people who have been injured by such situations, and Uncle Sam represents the United States government. In this political cartoon, there are 2 baby cribs, both of them covered in white and in feathers, which can suggest the child's innocence. But in this political cartoon, the child isn't necessarily being innocent as it's shooting and killing another one. So therefore the gun helps represent how such dangerous weapons take away the innocence of a child and make a child make decisions that are morally incorrect and that can ruin their future. The debatable issue in this cartoon is the increase of school shootings in the United States, and this can be seen by looking at the bottom right corner where there's a paper with the word school shooting increasing, and it's basically showing people that innocent children have been killing and harming not only students but also teachers and principals because they are innocent and unaware of the seriousness of the situation. The artist overall uses a realistic technique, but at the same time uses an abstract technique when he draws Uncle Sam, because he draws Uncle Sam in a smile with twisted eyes and hands in his pocket. Related to the artist's technique on how he drew Uncle Sam, this cartoon is ironic, or can be considered humorous, since Uncle Sam is saying, "Oh, it's okay, it was a legally purchased handgun." That, with the fact that his hands are in his pockets, suggests that Uncle Sam is basically excusing all the minor deaths that have been occurring, simply based on the fact that the guns used to kill the other people were purchased legally. The artist's purpose is to raise people's awareness on the amount of children who are killed or injured by the improper use of handguns. Like I agreed with the Guns R Us, I also agree with this political cartoon. As I previously mentioned, children are unaware of the danger of guns and may even shoot a gun accidentally due to the fact that they don't know how to properly use a gun. And the only way of preventing such tragedies is by prohibiting gun possession as a whole. And what I mean by this is that adults should only be able to own guns when they have a permit, and children should never in any situation be able to hold the possession of such an object. In summary, and as mentioned before, both political cartoons have the purpose to raise awareness on the dangers of gun possession in the United States, and were both created as a mean of convincing people that it is morally incorrect to let their children play with handguns or give them handguns for their birthday in order to stop the death rates in school shootings in the United States. This concludes my FOA. Thank you for watching.